Jeff, is there anything we can do?
Yes, do you need a hand?
No. Everything's fine. Won't be long now.
Okay. Jeff really enjoys cookies. In fact, he's been saying that he enjoys food more since he stopped smoking. And because he enjoys food more, he enjoys cooking more too.
Oh, talking of smoking, that reminds me. Did you know that your uncle has given up?
No, I haven't seen him recently. That's good news.
Yeah. He had a packet of cigarettes on his desk, and he asked me to throw it away.
Did he really? That was very dramatic.
He told me he'd just worked out something very interesting. He said he smoked 20 cigarettes a day, and he'd started smoking when he was 20 years old. So he'd worked out that when he was 65, he would have been smoking for 45 years, and he would have smoked 328,500 cigarettes.
That's quite a thought. Do you still enjoy working for him?
Oh, yes. He's a bit disorganized sometimes, but he's a very nice person. And I discovered something interesting about his character the other day.
What was that?
Well, when I arrived at the office, he was singing. So I said, "You seem to be in a very good mood." And he told me that he was singing because he was nervous.
Nervous?
Yes. He was going to make a speech at a conference. He said he always gets nervous before he makes a speech.
Yes, I remember once. He was going...
Sorry to interrupt you, ladies.
Oh, that's okay, Jeff.
I just wanted to say that dinner is served.
Great.
Oh, it smells delicious.
Patio. Pergola. Arbor. Railings. Hedge. Can opener. Lever corkscrew. Wine waiter corkscrew. Muffin pan. Removable bottomed pan. Quiche plate. Violet. Patio.
Ah, well, that's life.
Yes.
Anyway, let's change the subject.
Okay.
Let's talk about you. I know what I wanted to ask you.
Oh, hold on. Sorry to interrupt, but before I tell you my news, would you like another drink?
No, thanks. I'm fine at the moment. But you go ahead.
No, I'm fine. Incidentally, I'm very pleased to see that you're not drinking so much these days.
I've reformed. So, what's your news? How's your work going?
Fine. You know I've joined another newspaper.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I saw your old editor the other day. He said he wanted you back.
Did he really?
Mm.
Well, he's out of luck. In fact, if I never see him again, it'll be too soon.
Graham Greene's The Human Factor. The main character of the novel Morris Castle, who is an intelligence officer, is walking in the park with his small son.
There are spies, aren't there? Real spies? I suppose so, yes. Why do you ask? I just wanted to be sure, that's all.
Castle remembered how, at the same age, he had asked his father whether there were really fairies, and the answer had been less truthful than his own.
Spies like 007? Well, not exactly.
Castle tried to change the subject. He said,
When I was a child, I thought there was a dragon living here, in an old dugout down there among those trenches. What's a dragon? You know, one of those armoured creatures spitting out fire. Like a tank? Well, yes, I suppose like a tank.
there was a lack of contact between their two imaginations, which discouraged him.
More like a giant lizard.
He said,
Did you ever see a dragon? Once I saw smoke coming out of a trench, and I thought it was the dragon. Were you afraid? No, I was afraid of quite different things in those days. I hated my school, and I had few friends. I so liked spring. I so liked spring last year, because you were here. The thrushes too, because it was these you so liked to hear. I so liked you. This year's a different thing. I'll not think of you. But I'll like spring because it is simply spring, as the thrushes do. Charlotte Mew, 1869 to 1928.
From Summer with Monica. They say the sun shone now and again, but it was generally cloudy, with far too much rain. They say babies were born. Married couples made love, often with each other, and people died, sometimes violently. They say it was an average, ordinary, moderate, run-of-mill, common or garden summer. But it wasn't, for I locked a yellow door, and I threw away the key, and I spent summer with Monica, and Monica spent summer with me. Roger McGough, born 1987.
All Souls Night. My love came back to me. Under the November tree, shelterless and dim, he put his hand upon my shoulder. He did not think me strange or older, nor I him. Francis Cornford, 1886 to 1960.
She tells her love while half asleep. She tells her love while half asleep. In the dark hours, with half words whispered low, as earth stirs in her winter sleep, and puts out grass and flowers, despite the snow, despite the falling snow. Robert Graves, 1895 to 1985.
Today I'm going to talk about light, and in particular about laser beams. Light consists of waves. Different colours of light have different wavelengths. Waves of red light, for example, are about twice as long as waves of blue light. A beam of ordinary light is a mixture of all these possible wavelengths, and consists of waves which are out of phase with one another, like soldiers all marching out of step, so to speak. This type of beam is called an incoherent beam. In a laser beam, all the waves have the same wavelength, so they are all in phase with one another. This type of beam is called a coherent beam. That's the first difference between a beam of ordinary light and a laser beam. This is the second. A beam of ordinary light is continuous. In other words, it shines all the time. A laser beam is not continuous. It is intermittent. Sometimes it's on and sometimes it's off. And it's off much more of the time than it's on. Because the beam goes on and off very fast, the human eye cannot detect the changes. While the beam is off, the energy for the next on period, the next flash, is building up. And when the flash comes, it's very intense. So a laser beam has a lot of power. The third difference is this. A beam of ordinary light diverges. A laser beam does not. A beam of ordinary light gets wider and wider, and therefore weaker and weaker as it goes on. Because a laser beam does not diverge, it carries energy in a very compact form. Well, those are the three differences between a beam of ordinary light and a laser beam. Any questions?
I'm going to accept the invitation to visit the two countries.
What did he say?
He said he was going to accept the invitation to visit the two countries. The President also said that the purpose of this trip was to accelerate the peace process of that area. Well, that's all for today's news. Preset buttons. Channel scan buttons. Data display. Cassette compartment. Suburb. Tuning control. Cabinet. Brown hair.
This year's Best Actor performance in A Jealous Man is Christopher Stanton.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, what can I say? I'm surprised, honored, thrilled and delighted. I'd like to thank my co-star, Victoria Parker, who was very helpful and encouraging, and also our director, Alfred Lucas, for all his patience and his good advice. This award makes me very happy and very proud, and I'm very pleased that my mother and father are here tonight.
In Hollywood last night, the Best Actor award went to Christopher Stanton for his performance in A Jealous Man. Accepting the award, he said that he was surprised, honoured, thrilled and delighted. He thanked his co-star, Victoria Parker, who had been very helpful and encouraging, and also the director of the film, Alfred Lucas, for all his patience and his good advice. He said that the award made him very happy and very proud, and that he was very pleased that his mother and father were present at the ceremony.
The announcement was made by the minister's aide. The public was not admitted. A statement was read, nothing else was said, and questions were not permitted. This has been discussed behind closed doors in the highest government circles. Our city streets will be transformed. Telephone boxes will be painted purple.
At a press conference earlier this evening, it was announced that from now on, telephone boxes will be painted purple. Making the announcement, the minister's aide said that this change has been discussed in the highest government circles. 3 years ago, a similar announcement was made. At that time, it was announced that telephone boxes would be painted orange. Making that announcement, the minister's aide also said that the change had been discussed in the highest government circles. Following protests, however, the plan was abandoned.
Microphone boom.
The announcement was made.
News conference.
3 years ago, a similar announcement was
Journalist. Excited.
Thank you,
Award prizes. Evening dress. Setting.
These are your instructions. 1. Travel to Vienna. 2. Check into the Excelsior Hotel. 3. Telephone the following number. Actually, that mission was a complete disaster. I was ordered to travel to Vienna and to check into the Excelsior Hotel. They told me to telephone a particular number at a particular time. They said an agent would meet me and give me some documents. And they ordered me to bring documents back to London. Well, first the Excelsior was full, and I had to go to another hotel, and then no one answered my telephone call. So I gave up and came home. The boss was not very pleased. In fact, the boss was not pleased at all.
Oh, was that when you left the service?
Yes. Suddenly it all seemed ridiculous. Also, I wasn't very happy at that time. It left me. She didn't like being married to a spy.
I'm not surprised. Did she often ask you about your work?
Yes, all the time.
What did she ask you?
Oh, she used to ask me where I was going and how long I was going to be away. And when I got back, she asked me where I'd been. And of course, I couldn't tell her anything. Above all, she wanted to know why I was doing that kind of work. And that was a very good question.
What did you reply?
Oh, I used to say that the work was important. Then she would ask, why is it important? And I would try to explain why it was important. It's funny, it doesn't seem important at all now. I can't understand why I thought it was important. Anyway, I continued doing it, and finally she left me.
Did you love her?
Yes, I did. Very much. I often told her I loved her, and that I didn't want her to leave me, you know. but finally she said she couldn't go on. I told her again how much I loved her, and that I'd be lost without her, but
What did she say?
she said, "You'll have to be strong," and she left. Oh well, that's life.
Trombone. Bugle. Oboe. Viola. Piccolo. Hall. Wall fitting. Beer mug. Dining table.
Reported speech, pronouns.
We don't recognise you at all. My friends have been saying that they don't recognise me at all.
I'm very pleased that my mother and father are here tonight. He was very pleased that his mother and father were present at the ceremony. Reported speech, tenses.
I am leaving.
Now you tell me that you're leaving. Telephone boxes will be painted orange.
3 years ago it was announced that telephone boxes would be painted orange.
I need you.
I will always stay.
When I said that I needed you, you said that you would always stay.
Reported speech.
When I said that I needed you, you said that you would always stay.
Where are you going?
She asked me where I was going.
Do you love me?
She asked me if I loved her.
Go away and don't come back.
She told me to go away and not to come back.
Please go away and don't come back.
She asked me to go away and not to come back.
You should go away.
She advised me to go away.
You should go away.
She suggested that I go away. She suggested that I should go away.